Hi, Tori. Welcome to the Hustle Humbly podcast. This is episode number 308, if you can imagine. And we're so excited to have you here. We love having a guest. Alissa has been detained at the car dealership, so I am on my own today. Will you tell our realtor audience who you are, where you are, and a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, I'm Tori Sprankel. I'm in Atlanta currently, but my husband and I are both from military families, so every 3 years we get the itch to move. So could be coming to your city soon. Who knows? I am a brand and web designer. I specifically work with moms who like to use social media as their main marketing platform. I help them define their personal brands, what makes them stand out, because the reality is we're all good at a lot of the same things in our industry. Realtors are one of, you guys know exactly how it is. You're all selling houses. You're all doing the same thing. So it's like, how do we stand out in this, saturated market, which I hate the word saturated. I feel like we all can get past whatever market we're in and industry we're in, and find the people that we're really supposed to work with. And we can dive into that. But all that to say, I work with people to try to figure out who they are and make content fun and feel really personal to them while also connecting them to their ideal people.
Okay, I love that. Let's dive literally right into
Okay.
You'd not believe how many times you meet a new realtor, a veteran realtor, a struggling realtor, and they'll say, there's just too many realtors here. The market is oversaturated. Everyone I know knows 10 other realtors. So let's hear some of the tips on how do we stand out from the big, scary, saturated market.
Yeah. Well, I first want to say that I think it's really easy to get in our heads when we're so in our own industry minded. And so every industry has their own kind of obstacles to get through. And so real estate might feel really hard because you're in a local market. You're literally neighbors with another realtor. It's just a different beast. But I want us to start thinking of us as more like business owners and not realtors. And it's just the thing that we're selling is different. So I'm going to say I want you to stop selling houses. So that's my hot take is I think you need to be selling a lifestyle and a destination. Like I would want, if I was a realtor, I would want to be known as the girl that people would want to bring to the cute farmers market for the first time, or introduce them to a food hall, or go on a girl date to that hidden indie bookstore I didn't know about. And so I would want to be more of you're a local guru, you are the it girl of your town, and it's less about houses and it's more about knowledge and connection in my mind.
That is really, first of all, it's the first time I've ever heard that hot take, and it's true, and it's gold, because I think we get a little bit in the weeds of, I need to find a client, I need to sell a house, and you're marketing two things when you're a realtor. You're marketing the houses that you're selling, but you're also having to market yourself as a business. And a lot of realtors do miss that connection of, you're the business, you're the business, not that house is going to sell and it's going to be gone and you'll move on to the next one, but you still have to have a brand and be the business that you are.
Hey there, are you looking for ways to save time and money in your business?
Email Templates 101 is the communication system you need to bring ease and efficiency to managing your transactions and clients.
Save time and avoid mistakes, all while providing a high level of service for your buyers and sellers.
In Email Templates 101, you'll get 13 downloadable buyer templates ready for your personal touches.
And 19 downloadable seller templates, plus 6 attachment checklists.
Head over to hustlehumblypodcast.com/courses to get yours today.
Okay, so taking it down that road, if you are the brand, where do they start? Like a realtor, where would they start if they don't know if they're the farmer's market girl or how do you start figuring out what your brand is?
So your personal brand, which is what we're figuring out, is the overlap. If we have these two circles, essentially it's one circle is all of this stuff that we're interested in as a person. And the other circle is all this stuff that who we would love to be selling to is interested in. And if we start to overlap them, that little middle section is where we're finding that like common thread. And so that might be, I would be all over a realtor who's going to tell me where I can go work at a coffee shop, or where I can, have a quiet place to read, a place that maybe is a coffee shop with a playground. That's a bonus, so what are these things that can overlap between what you're interested in your life and theirs? And I guarantee you, buying a house and selling a house is not in the middle of that. So what we need to figure out is who we're talking to. So we need to we already know our own circle, so we need to start filling out this other circle. And you'll attract beyond your niche. Like I talk all the time about motherhood and working with moms, and I also work with women who are not moms. You will continue to attract beyond your niche, so don't be scared of speaking directly to a specific person. I think that can get scary too. We think we're like isolating a whole market when really we're just showing up as authentically as possible, and that's like super magnetic. But it becomes a lot easier to like brand and make content and make all these decisions, when you're writing a caption for a reel in your car, when you know who you're talking to. And so is your ideal buyer a mom who is wanting, the lifestyle side of things with their kids who are 5 and under? Are they people who are moving to the area? Are they military families? Are they I personally right now, my life is looking for my mom's retirement home. So it's like a really interesting take on like, I'm not the buyer and she's the end decision maker, but I'm the one searching through social media for my parents. And so it's just trying to figure out like, okay, what girl am I going to be? And I'm sorry if there are guys listening to this. I say girl a lot, but
okay, we welcome all.
What person are you going to be? Like what you're going to be the go-to what person? Like relocation person. You're going to be the go-to. It could even be like stay-at-home moms. You want to be in a neighborhood that maybe is filled with community. You want a community pool. You want to be close to, for us, it's like really great soccer programs and stuff like that. So I think it's really just defining who you're talking to and not being scared to niche down.
Yeah, I like the advice of not feeling like you're eliminating everyone else. Like if you've chosen kind of a lane and this is your niche and who you're talking to, that suddenly no one else will ever work with you. That's just truly not what's going to happen. But you will get that kind of magnetic pull to the people who you are trying to work with. So that's really good advice. Now, we were talking about branding, and I want to ask you where you think entrepreneurs and realtors specifically get caught up on their branding, because I haven't heard you mention a color, a font, or a logo yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm probably the worst brand designer out there that's going to tell you that doesn't matter. It does matter. And I think for different industries, it matters more than others. For a realtor, I wouldn't necessarily stress about that in the beginning. I would think about consistency, and not consistency to the point of let's post every day. I would think about, what are maybe a few things that I can consistently wear every time I show up. We're building that brand consistency, and we'll probably get into this more too, but we really just want to make a safe place for our audience to land. There's a lot of psychology behind social media and it being, we sit there and doom scroll and we're looking for like the safety, not the jump scares when we are watching our people. And so consistency in our brand is what creates safety. So I would start again, like something that you might wear. What is even, I know a lot of people talk about beverages. I'm a beverage girly. What beverage are you always carrying? But it can go beyond that. Like, what is your content composition? Like, are you always super symmetrical when you're filming a reel and you're walking down a street? Are you always sitting on a front porch? Are you always in your car? Like, what can you always be doing that can create that brand consistency? What are key phrases that you use? I'm not saying like have a catchphrase at the end, but like, what are some things, even down to like with my clients, I say, I need to know, do you call moms, mamas? Like, how do you say even the simplest words? For me, I'm in Georgia, so it's mama. But like, what is even that verbal consistency that can start to happen? And then like, what's maybe even a series that you could start doing? So are there things like, I don't know, Sunday recaps of the week, or Mondays, here's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the week, and it can have some work stuff sprinkled into it. Like, what are some series that can help you start to also be consistent in showing up, but think visually and verbally too? And is that too much? Is that like overwhelming? Okay.
No, that absolutely makes sense. And it's so funny. It made my mind first go to, I think yesterday I saw Elise. Do you know Elise Myers? Do you know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Her
Elise
book?
Myers, she just released her book, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's not released, but she just announced it and it's coming in October. But what I thought was so funny about the book was the title was,
Her
that's a great question I'd love to tell you. And it's how she starts all of her videos. Like, she'll say whatever she's talking about. That's a great question I'd love to tell you. And I love that was, when I saw the book title, I'm like, I knew exactly what that was. That's what she says every time. And it's like her quick little hook. And you're like, well, I want to know like what she's talking about. So I think that really it makes us feel safe and it's comfortable. And I think that it's recognizable. And then it doesn't matter your color or, your logo. No one's looking for that. But if they just, every time they hear your voice, because your voice is your brand too, for if you're going to make a video, then hearing your voice, or if you have those catchphrases, there's a lot of great realtors online now that have catchphrases, or like the lady that's playing hide and seek she's talking really quiet into the mic and she hides in different places in the room. So
she is going to be one of my examples today.
No way.
Yes.
What is her name? Do you know her name?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I don't know either. And she's so funny. And then there's the girl that's always like squatting down and she's being kind of like sassy. Her name is Caitlin. Realtor Caitlin is her Instagram. But I just think it's important and it's comforting to like know that whoever you are is fine, and like but make sure you're putting that out there on a regular basis. So people are like, oh, you always say mama, or you always say whatever, you're always drinking your Diet Coke, or you're always it's just, they don't have to love that thing. Like, I hate coffee. I've posted about sweet tea forever. And the majority of people who know who I am like coffee, that everyone loves coffee, right? But it doesn't turn off people that I'm not talking about coffee. It's just like, oh, you're the person that loves
sweet tea.
Like, that's, it's fine. So I think that is really, really good advice. Okay. I noticed on your website that you said that you believe the difference between your business being just a little thing you do on the side and the go-to expert is confidence. And I think a lot of realtors struggle with the confidence in showing up online. So we're talking about all these people, these cute shticks, or their things they say or whatever. What advice do you have to just get started, to like get past the nervousness and to find that confidence?
Yeah, I totally relate to this, and I'm an online business, and it'd be very easy for me to like block my family and friends. But I know as a realtor, when you're in a local market, and this goes for anyone who's in a local market for their job or industry, it's like we need all the eyes on all of our things, because that one friend from high school who watches our stories that makes us feel really cringe might be the next referral we have. And so it's such a mindset shift that has to happen. And that's the first thing I do with my clients anyway, is we work on the mindset, because confidence is this like muscle, that we have to build and work, and it doesn't get bigger and better if we don't go to the gym. So we have to like really start getting uncomfortable and lifting those 2-pound weights that might feel terrible right now to be able to lift 20s. But I feel like it's such a cliche thing for me to say, but it really is just starting. Like, I know that's so scary. So, I love my stories, for example. I cannot ever show my face first. Like, that is just a practice I have come to do, but also it makes me feel, I call it a warm hello. I feel like it's tiptoeing into socials, and I don't have to be like full face or ready first thing. It's just like always my Kindle and my coffee on my bed, which my husband hates, but that is always my warm hello. So like can we start to define like these little warm hellos on our stories, and maybe they're not our face. And when I first started really getting into stories and realizing, dang, I have to show my face and I have to start doing more of face to cam, I started taking selfies in my mirror because it felt like there was still this little bit of safety. Like it wasn't like a camera right close to my face where it distorts how I actually look and I second guess everything. I was like, I'm just going to take a little outfit of the day, like mirror selfie. And that became a brand theme for me. And so now I do it every day. And so it's just little things like that, those little steps that will help, snowball us into maybe creating a reel where we're full body and showing everything and or talking.
Yeah, I think you can't go 0 to 60. So it's like,
no.
I think they're expecting themselves to go from not showing their face, even in a still photo at all the way to making a reel that's talking about some topic about their business. I'm like, well, that was a big jump. Like, I like what you're saying. Like, start with the warm hello, post like something that doesn't have your face in it. Then maybe we're moving on to the mirror selfie. I also had someone give advice once where they were like, wear sunglasses in your video if it feels like maybe it just gives you a little bit more confidence, or like take the video in your car with your sunglasses on and like make it be really short. So I think it's great advice to just say, we're not just going all the way to the, like, we're not going to be video expert like on day 2. We're going to start and like tiptoe our little way in until we feel comfortable.
Exactly. And I would say even like, for me, it was about not feeling my best when I did show up because I felt pressure to show up. And so I started getting dressed every day. I just started renting Nuuly for the first time because I was so bored with my wardrobe. And I can't tell you in the last month how much more confident I felt. And I'm a pretty confident person. But I was having, a little like wavering moments, and I was like, I think it's my wardrobe. I need to shake things up. And so it just gave me this little like reboost. But getting ready, like even just throwing a flat iron in my hair for 5 minutes in the morning, it just is, this little thing, whether you think it's vain or not, it's just this little piece of our day that can help make us feel better and show up easier. Hi.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes so much sense. Alyssa's here, everyone.
Hi, guys.
She has joined us. I told Tori not to worry because I'm the one who's more interested in branding.
I actually thought if anybody had to miss some of this, it would just be me. I don't have a lot of input. I'm just here to learn with our listeners today.
You're gonna love this. Tori was just telling us about how to get onto video, and she was like, maybe get dressed every day, like just to be prepared, and then you're not like kind of working backwards to it.
Yeah.
Okay, Tori, if someone is listening and only has a small amount of time every week to work on their brand, what are your suggestions for them?
Well, I know we have been talking about stories, but I think stories is the easiest way to go. I think if you have a small amount of time, then showing up in some sort of capacity. Stories does not have to be on your feed forever, pixel perfect. It disappears in 24 hours. There's a lot less pressure. And so it just feels like you can get a little experimental. You can be okay when it expires. If you didn't love your stories today, you tried something new, maybe you didn't get that much engagement. Okay, try something new tomorrow. I would just start there. And what's interesting about stories to me is that's where I get so much data. So I get data about through engagement, whether people love things or have it's like crickets. And so maybe I have some hot take on stories and I get lots of engagement, lots of hearts, lots of, oh my gosh, me too, or I love this book or whatever. I'm like, okay, on the right track. Or if it's the opposite, I'm like, okay, maybe this isn't the content my audience is looking to consume from me. And it's nothing personal. I like to say that business is personal, but we can't take anything personally. So it's just data. So I think stories is a great way to experiment and tiptoe in and just start small.
I heard someone say the other day that they like to experiment on their stories because when you make a post, people see the engagement or not. But with stories, only you see it.
That's
so
true.
you know, like nobody liked that or
Right.
engaged at all, but nobody knows that except me.
It's a safe collection of data. That's a great point. I noticed the other day on our account, it had a button. I didn't press it, but it was like you could remove visual, like that your likes on your reels. You could just remove that they were showing.
Yeah.
So it's getting, I think, a little easier to just, because then you put stuff out and it's like, who cares? Nobody's like going back and checking to see if anyone even looked at this.
And if you're already into reels, but maybe you're like, I would start experimenting with trial reels if you have that capability. I think everyone has that now, but trial reels are not sent to your audience at all. They're sent to everyone except your audience. And especially if you are talking in your reel hook or your caption about anything local, like that's going to be pushed so much further. Because it's just like local is always going to be stronger SEO wise, whether it's social or website or anything. But I think that could be a great way. I've done a ton of trial reels and I have some that just flop and I don't even care. I don't even remember I do them after I post them most of the time. And then I have some that bring in like followers and stuff. And so again, that's data, but it feels like safety is maybe the theme of a lot of our conversations this morning. But it feels a little safer to start to
pattern.
I'm sorry.
Like in what has flopped. Yeah. Have you
I noticed the pattern for me? It's usually if I am a little more like strong in my opinions versus it being just this like aesthetic video talking about branding or something. And I think it's people know once they come to my account that this is what I do. And it's very clear in my captions that I am talking to my ideal client. And so sometimes it's more of, okay, this was a 3-second video of my kid asleep on my chest at the pool. And it might be, the sun is great, or I have a Diet Coke in my hand, but it's literally like 3 seconds. Like it is not quality video at all. And for some reason, those ones that I take the less time on hit harder. So, less pressure.
Yeah, right. You don't have to worry about it being aesthetic at all.
Yeah. But try that. I mean, with realtors, I could totally see, especially if you're selling this like really, really high-end neighborhood, then your ideal client is probably looking at what bag you're carrying. They're probably looking, if you're recording in your car, what car are you driving? Like, unfortunately, visuals do matter to your ideal audience, even if it's subconsciously, they're picking up on cues. Like, even if you had sweet tea over a coffee, someone's probably going to notice that. So just tapping into, okay, do aesthetics matter to my people? For my people, it does. And there's no right or wrong to that. It's just knowing them and what's going to stop them and stop them in their scroll to like consume more of you.
Do you do your content, or do you help your clients do like formulaic? Is it like Mondays we do this, Tuesdays we do this, or is it more like natural?
Yeah, it's more natural. So deliverable side with a client, it's more like here's some story, personal brand themes. And I lay it out in stories as an example, but here's personal brand themes, and it could move into newsletter writing or any content that you consider content, a Substack or a podcast. These are these underlying themes that are connecting you with your people. But I do have a free stories challenge that literally has like a calendar on how to like what to post on Monday, what to post on Tuesday. And it's not like prompts. Like every day you will be delivered maybe some sort of prompt, but it's not like post this on stories. I really, really want to change people's mindset around content before they are just hopping into doing prompts and reel hooks and downloading things that are just like getting content out there. Like I want them to feel good about it. And I want them to feel like proud of the things that they put out and really connected to it. Because again, we're talking about that like magnetic thing. Like you've all seen these reels that feel kind of cringy because it feels forced, or like, I don't want that for anyone. I want people to be really attracted to you. And so the free stories challenge does deliver things, but it might be like, today, I just want you to leave your phone in one room and notice when the light is really beautiful in your home, and maybe take note of the time, or maybe take a picture, but don't post it today. Like it's just getting into the habit of noticing and practicing and really feeling connected and proud to the content we're putting out.
Our database template is the key to repeat and referral business, and it's free for you.
Your database is the foundation of successful business, and we want to help you get started.
Not sure who you would put on the list? Don't worry, we have ideas for you.
Grab your free database template and Who Do You Know list at hustlehumblypodcast.com/start here.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about consistency, and I think that realtors get kind of in a loop, and you'll see some that are always posting the just listed, just sold, that like the posts are very boring, if you will, and just kind of like what everyone has been doing for years.
Very monotonous.
Very monotonous. Like, what is the advice to keep consistency, but to not be boring or robotic or kind of repetitive?
Yeah, and the hard thing is with consistency is like we do want repetitive. So to us, it might feel really boring sometimes, and maybe we need to shake it up with, maybe we hit our. I'm going to use coffee shops. I feel weird talking about coffee shops when you're a tea girl, but I'm going to use coffee shops. And so,
I'm a coffee girl.
Okay.
Good news. Alissa will drink the coffee you're selling.
I would start consuming content that's not realtors, for one. So I don't follow any branded web designers. It really messes with my comparison. And so I just have to like get past that. But I would start following people that maybe are like travel minded or lifestyle minded or wellness minded or something in that realm, and see what they're doing and take inspiration from like their posts or their whatever. And so maybe you are a girl who always has coffee. Maybe it's a nice coffee every time you walk around a house for a reel or in your stories. Maybe this time you're doing a photo dump and it's rating the iced coffee at all the different coffee shops locally to you. And it's a photo dump. It's not a reel. You literally can do, the text in stories and save it and, low lift. But it maybe will jolt a little creativity for you while still staying on brand and be a little bit something new for your audience as well. But again, I know it sucks to like have to move through, like I'm being boring and I'm being repetitive and I need to give my people variety to keep them interested. But really, they really need that like safe space to land. They need to go to your account and know that this is what I'm expecting to get from them. I use Book Talk as like an example all the time. I follow girls on there and I never see them ever post anything outside of them rating books and their bookshelf is behind them. So like, I don't know what their kitchen looks like. I don't know anything else about them, but I am there to get their recommendations for the week, And so if they started throwing up mocktail recipes in their kitchen, I'd be like, whoa, what is this? And so we really need and crave, our brains do, that consistency in that safe space. You don't have to be everything for everyone. You just need to like do your lane really well. You guys probably follow them. I don't remember their name. It's like North something group, and it's like 3 sons and the dad. And they're like, I don't know if they're realtors or they're finance people or something, but they're like theme all the time, and they're always doing something new. But the underlying theme is always like oldest, middle, and youngest child, and like the perspectives of that, and then the dad perceiving them. And so it's always hilarious. It's always short. It's always like so stupid simple, but the underlying theme is the same. So maybe that's something too, like we talked about outfits being consistent or keywords and catchphrases, but maybe there's an underlying theme that can give you a little more creative like wings where you feel like you can like grow a little bit outside of the lines.
I like that. I wish that I had been smart enough to think about playing hide and seek in my reels in, houses to show different parts of the house. It's like, how do you, I want that creative impulse. How do we get the creative impulse? I mean, these people are so clever.
But that's why I like your recommendation to follow non-realtor accounts, because even scrolling is not as fun for me anymore because I'm friends and follow so many agents because they're my friends, they're my coworkers, they are podcast people. And it's like fine, but I feel like
That's all you see.
all I see is real estate stuff, and I also don't need to see houses for sale in other parts of the country that isn't going to work for a buyer.
Yeah.
But the thought of like, I love the idea of following like a travel blogger or something like that, because, and even me and Katie and our marketing manager, Sydney, we're always looking at other reels that are non-real estate related at all and being like, how could we change this to be real estate related?
Exactly.
But if all you're following is people who are already doing it, then you just feel like you're copying. It's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah,
But
I have a little hack for that.
Okay.
So it's two ways you could go about this. I do both actually. So there's an option to like favorite followers. So you can either change your feed from being everyone you follow to only viewing people who are on your favorites. And on my favorites, it's literally only people who might like inspire me creatively, like whether that's home interiors or I love to paint. So maybe it's like painting techniques or something like that. And it's literally nothing to do with business. Like I don't want, here's the hooks and the trending audio for today on my feed at 9 p.m. when I'm scrolling. I want the stuff that makes my brain feel good. So we can follow only our favorites and scroll only those. And then I also have a troll Instagram account. It's like just, I go onto my like troll account, and I say troll account, but it's literally, I don't follow anyone. No one follows me. It's just there. So I have like a blank slate. And that's where I pull up, my kids love looking at baby bobcats. They love watching makeup videos, like stuff like that. And so I'm like, okay, this isn't going to mess with my algorithm. And it's kind of a relief from like all the mess that I've already built into my business Instagram.
That's like you're like walking into a whole nother world there.
Oh, it's a whole new world. It felt like the Wild West in the beginning, because it's like, oh, you're new to Instagram. Here's this shit you've never seen. Sorry, I did not know if I could cuss there.
Baby
bobcats and makeup tutorials. Her algorithm was all kinds of crazy.
I cannot make this up. My kids are obsessed with baby bobcats. Like, they have seen them in real life at an animal rescue place, and it is like we have baby bobcat t-shirts. We have like, it's a thing. It's a thing.
I think that's what we forget too, is we are so stuck in our bubble that we forget that there is any interest. It is on Instagram, all the way down to like baby bobcats only.
Oh my gosh.
There.
Yeah. I mean, and if there was someone who was like, my kids are very into animals and hiking. And so I would probably follow someone locally who is telling me, here's some great, animal rescue places, or here's some great hikes that I took my kids on. And, like there's so many things, and you probably are already doing them. And that's what I was talking about, is the things that we're interested in and the things that they're interested in. It doesn't have to be like we're the same people in our entire life. It's just like this little part that we find that's
like, what's
that overlap. Yeah. It's like beyond the small talk. What is that?
That's really good. Okay. You had a post in April that was it was called Exactly What You Need to Post Today. And it was a carousel, and you had a bunch of ideas in there. What is exactly what realtors need to post today?
Yeah. I think, especially for realtors, because we're learning how to blend this like selling of houses and our personal life. Again, I think realtors are the same as brand and web designers. We're just selling different things. And you have the luxury of having this like guardrail of local market on you, which I think is amazing. I think putting buffers on your content is what kind of helps us grow in ways. And to me, I'm like, oh, the world's my oyster. What do I do? Like, it kind of feels like too much to choose from. And so exactly what to post today. That post is, I think everyone should do like a monthly recap post, and it can be literally whatever, but you'll see in mine and in the template that post is sending free carousel templates to anyone who wants to do a monthly recap post. But it's like, let's put screenshots from maybe a buyer that we just like finished buying a house or selling a house. Like, let's add a testimonial in, but maybe the photo is something lifestyle-y. Or maybe let's talk about for me, I was like, I went to like 5 million soccer games last month because it is soccer season for us. And you can just start sprinkling in this one carousel post. So even if you maybe posted twice a month, I know that sounds like so little, but if you posted twice a month and I got to see a lifestyle like carousel that mixed business and pleasure and a reel that was maybe realtor focused, I would still feel like I knew you. And I think that's the whole point is I'm not going to hire anyone from posting just listed photos and, pixelated graphics. Like I've seen so many cringy things in all industries. But we just need to like be ourselves, post our camera roll. Like I love going through and like favoriting throughout the month. Like if I take a snapshot of maybe a really zoomed in, I try not to show my kids on camera a lot, but if it's like a really zoomed in like soccer shot or something, I'm like, oh, this would be cute in my monthly carousel. And you have up to 20 pictures, 10 to 20 is great. People love them. Currently posts versus reels are performing better anyway. I think Instagram is like trying to balance out the scales of reels and posts, but people love a photo buffet. Like they will save it. They will engage with it. I think if you don't post anything else, post something that mixes the two things together and make it a photo carousel. It's easy. You don't have to necessarily show your face. You could even take 1 million, if you are showing your face, take 1 million photos till you get the right one. It's just, it's a little more curated. So you have time and it's fun. So
that's such a low lift, 2 posts in a whole month. I mean, if we can't handle this, we should just close out the account. I mean, this is not a lot, right?
Yeah, I don't post a ton. There's days when I feel like, oh, I could post every day this week, but I do try to consistently show up in stories. That feels really easy. Even if I show like 5 stories from the day, but I get 2 posts out in the month, I'm like, I am on it. So, and people still are just fine with that. I used to follow this influencer. I am blanking on her name, but I loved her content and I would still talk to her about her and still like recommend her. And I was looking at her like dates of posting and it was literally 1 reel a month, but like every reel that she put out was viral. And I think it was just taking the time to make that like really quality work versus just throwing stuff out and seeing what sticks was better for her. And I was like, that's crazy that you only gave me something once a month. And I still like, you are so memorable. Your stuff is great, and people are loving it. So it really is like quality over quantity.
Yeah, that makes sense and is easier to deal with. Okay, this has been really very helpful. I have a really off-the-wall question that I didn't tell you previously.
Oh, no.
So we'll see what you think. Because we've talked, every time, we talk about branding or something like this, we do get kind of heavy on social media talk. What if someone listening does not use or want to use social media in their business? What is your branding advice then?
So I guess I would ask, what is your marketing plan? So are you doing, do people still do prints, like mailings and things like that? I'm assuming they do.
In real estate, they do.
Real estate, they do. So I would be doing something like that. My realtor who I use is not on social media. And but what she does, and this is way above and beyond, I do not think this is normal. Every holiday, she drops something off for my girls. Every single holiday. So Easter, St. Patrick's Day, sometimes it's even just a lottery ticket for each of them, but sometimes it's more than that. And I'm just like I tell my parents, I'm like, got this from my realtor today. And they're like, what in the world? Our realtor doesn't talk to us anymore. So how can we stay connected to people in ways that are offline? Because really, we talk a lot. You are the local market. So I'm not saying we go like buy sponsorship things for like the high school baseball team or anything like that. You could do that if you feel like it, but you're going to have to start connecting in some way. And some people do that through social media. Some people do that face to face. I would just start to become involved. I would, go to the farmer's market and talk to people. Like, unfortunately, that you are in a people industry. So if we can't talk to people, then I think we're in trouble. I'm sorry if that's hard talk, but I think that's just the name of the game, and me included. Some days I don't feel like talking to anyone, and I may see a dip in something, but we have to just start connecting in any way possible.
I was actually going to ask this question because I was like, maybe they talked about this earlier when I wasn't in here, but I was like, this is very social media heavy. And I agree, because nothing is more awkward to me, because when I see people, we were joking the other day that if I think I see someone I know, I'm like, hey, I think I know you, but nothing is more awkward than you think you know someone online because they do such great videos and you're always watching them and you feel like you know them, and then you meet them in person and they are not friendly. They're so dry. Like, they must only be good behind the phone, and that's it. But I told Katie, we've talked about it on another episode. So my Excel spreadsheet, my database has like 450 people in it. Well, a few years ago, I thought, I want to make sure that I'm friends and following all these people on Facebook or Instagram. So I did a little experiment where I went through each name and checked them both on Facebook and Instagram. The amount of people that I highlighted their name because they don't have either blew my mind. And I think it's such a reminder that we get so consumed with our brand and what we are doing and what we are creating that we forget that, like, so many people in our database don't even see it if you're only relying on social media, if that's your only thing.
Yeah.
So
and
finding ways to diversify.
Exactly. And that's so true. And I still have people or clients who run online businesses, but still go to these like pop-up events to talk about services and stuff. And that's very still one-on-one. Maybe it's like, I'm thinking of one of my friends who is a hormone specialist, and she goes to like women's health events, and she'll have like a booth and stuff. But yeah, my mind is always on social media because my main client is like building there. And, so I'm quick to go there, but yeah, I would be at every single event that I could possibly go to, but more so, I think you're going to be relying a lot on word of mouth referrals and just, again, those connections. It's not like you have to go say hello to everybody you see on the street, but I think taking like one genuine connection at a time and not being like, oh, I have to be friends with this person because they might tell somebody that I'm a realtor, but it's like, can you even be friends with this person and maybe not even reference houses today? Like, can we talk about anything else and make a connection? And that's really hard because we are literally consumed with ourselves, and that's it in our business. Sometimes I forget I have kids. I just am like, this is my baby, but it's like, it's hard. And yeah, I had that the other day. Again, a soccer mom, she was like, oh, Instagram recommended like someone I may know, and you were up there because now I have your phone number. And out loud, I was like, oh, how embarrassing. And so in my brain, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I am kind of a different Tori on Instagram than I am on the soccer field, because that's just a different part of my life and my brain. And not that my personalities are different or my values are different or anything like that, but I kind of want to separate some of that stuff. Like, I'm different as a business owner than I am with my kids or my husband. And I think it's okay to not always be the realtor when you're connecting with people. Just be a normal person.
Yeah. Well, it gets the relationship there. And if the relationship develops, the business stuff takes care of itself. Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Okay, Tori, tell us how people can find and work with you.
Yeah. Can I say Instagram?
We're not against Instagram at all.
Yeah. Instagram is my favorite. I don't always respond easily typing, but I love a voice note. in my DMs. That's the easiest for me, and hopefully probably for you guys too. So I'm there at torisprankel.com as well. I think I will send you guys a link with some freebies that we talked about. So please let me know if you can't get to any of those. Yeah, awesome. But I really do like connecting with people and moms. I didn't know this world existed when I started my business, and it's kind of, it can be really lonely when we run our own businesses, even I think as realtors who have local people to talk to or an office to go to. It still feels like kind of isolating that we're making decisions by ourselves and, in our own email bubble. And it's, I don't know, it feels like it's opened this world of like friendships and stuff online that make this a lot more fun. So I would love to connect if you feel like we should be friends.
Absolutely. I love that. Okay. Did you bring a toast today? So do you want to?
Yes. Each episode with a toast. Someone that has helped you or encouraged you in your career. Who you got?
Yeah, I have to say my husband. I literally could not do this without him. He, helped support me when I first started my business, when he was in corporate America, and to the point where now he's at home. He homeschools our girls 90% of the time. He does the dishes. He does the laundry. He is literally the best Enneagram 2 I've ever met. Just literally a people person there to help. And if it wasn't for him, I would not be here. So I've got to toast him for sure.
That's awesome.
I love that. He sounds delightful. Well, thank you so much for being here. It was so interesting and hopefully eye-opening for the listeners. And they'll go and find you and send you that voice DM. And now you're going to be like, wow, I didn't know so many people are going to voice DM me.
Please do. Please do. Because I'm usually like cooking dinner and my husband says that I literally run a business on voicemails. And that's the weirdest thing that he's ever seen. And I'm like, it's true, but it works. So.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Hustle Humbly podcast.
If you enjoyed this episode, please go to ratethispodcast.com/hustlehumbly and leave us a review or like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications.
If you have an episode topic or someone you'd like to toast on the show, please email us at team@hustlehumblypodcast.com.
Find us on social media at Hustle Humbly Podcast. Don't forget to find all the free resources at hustlehumblypodcast.com/resources.
See you next week.